Hey, how you doing? Justin here and welcome to my Ukulele Buyer's Guide, in which I'm going to explain to you the 4 main types of ukulele, the accessories that you might need and things to watch out for when you're buying a ukulele. So I'm going to start off with actually this little ukulele. This is a Mahalo ukulele and I bought this for my daughter. It was £24. You can hear it's got a pretty small sort of a sound. It's very, very small. You can get them in a range of colours. This one's doing pretty good. You know, my daughter's 4 years old. She thrashes this thing, throws it around. It never gets very well looked after. Some of the paint's cracking off, but it plays okay and it stays in tune. And one of the things with cheap ukuleles is they often don't stay in tune. You have the things on the back here, the tuning pegs. So you can see this one's actually got proper cogs on the tuners, and this thing stays in tune. Like, no matter how badly beaten this gets, it stays in tune, and I really rate it for £24. That's a real bargain. I definitely rate this, the Mahalo ukulele. So the thing about soprano ukuleles is they're really small. Now that makes them portable, that'll fit in your bag, but it also means the sound is quite small. If you were going to take it to a barbecue and have a play along, the people immediately near you would hear it, but the sound isn't going to project very far. The sound is also a little bit thin, a little bit tinny compared to bigger ukuleles. But if you were just starting out and you weren't really sure if you were going to get involved with ukulele, like you want to put some serious time into practice and you just want to have a bit of fun, for £24, this is an absolute steal. I think this is amazing. You're going to find links, by the way, to all of the products and things that I talk about in the link in the description. It'll take you over to the website, where as well I've got loads of lessons on songs and children's songs, you know, all of the stuff that you might need to develop as a ukulele player. One thing that I find really interesting about this ukulele is that the resonance seems to come from the back of the uke body more than the front. So if I hold it closely against my body, it's really, really quiet. But if I hold it away, I can't really play it like that very well. But the whole body is resonating. There's against the body. It's really, the volume increase is quite dramatic, which is kind of weird. But, you know, I guess it's the way it's working. You know, the back of the body here has to resonate because there's not that much wood at the front. But like overall, I think for this price as a first ukulele, it'd be great. You often read in reviews like, you know, if you buy cheap, you buy twice because you might buy another one down the line. But yeah, kind of sure, give it to your friends, kids to learn on. If you decide that you love the ukulele and you want to buy something a little bit more expensive and, you know, with a bit better sound or whatever, or a bigger sized one. And we'll get to that next. So this is Soprano ukulele. This one was a Mahalo. There'll be a link over on the website. Now, the next size up is this size, and this is a concert ukulele. And this one's made by Maton, which is an Australian guitar maker. And they're fantastic. But note that this is an £850 ukulele. Now, that other one was 24 quid. So 850 by 24, 30. You know, is it 35 times better than the other one? Yeah, kind of is. You know, I just think the tone of this instrument is vastly superior. It's rich and warm. It's crisp. It's just everything about it is wonderful. So this is a solid Blackwood ukulele with a Queensland maple neck and a rosewood fingerboard. It's even got an electric pickup system if I was going to use it for a live thing. It is like, you know, it's a 10 out of 10 as far as ukuleles go. I think this is kind of as good as it gets. It's definitely my favorite ukulele. But at that price, you'd really want a ukulele that sounds pretty sweet, hey? So, you know, top of the tree stuff. This is definitely not a beginner's ukulele. If you're a beginner in ukulele, don't get this uke, okay? It's too expensive. You know, you might trash it or decide you don't like it, and you don't want to leave a quality instrument like this sitting around. But if you get really into the uke and you start to appreciate the quality, then, you know, this is a beautiful uke. It's also got a tuner built in. Not that I tend to use that much, but amazing quality instrument. Now, I also happen to have this other concert size ukulele, which I bought. I think this was one of the first ukuleles I bought, at least in the UK. I feel a bit bad about this. It's a Hamano brand, and I don't get along with it at all. The most annoying thing that it's got is these sort of tuning pegs where there's no gears and they just kind of shove in, and they slip all the time. So if I try and go too high, they slip back again, and it's just so frustrating. You can hear that I turn the peg, and the pressure of the string is just pulling it back to the wrong amount. So it's almost impossible for me to keep this thing in tune. Now, there is a solution if you happen to have a ukulele like this and you want to know how to fix it. On the back of the tuning pegs, there's a little screw, and if you put a screwdriver in there and tighten it up a little bit, it makes the pegs a little more sticky, so it'll stay where you put it. But it also makes them a lot more stiff, and what I've found with this particular instrument is that they continually slip. So like, it might be fine for a month or two, and then they'll start slipping again. I have to go and tighten them up. And I'm just like, oh, really? I can't remember how much this ukulele cost, and I can't find the receipt. I was looking for it just before this lesson. Sounds like, yeah, looks like my daughter's been feeding it guitar picks as well. Thanks. Oh, hey, that never happens. You can never shake a ukulele and the pick falls out. I got it on camera. I've got it on camera. A pick falling out of the sound hole. That's like... This just never happens. Amazing. Okay, so the next size up. This one is a tenor ukulele. Quite a lot bigger again. If especially if we compare it there with the soprano ukulele, you can see there's a pretty massive difference there. If I compare it with the concert ukulele, it's bigger. It's not massively bigger, but it's definitely bigger. This has a few nice things going on. It's got a little rounded kind of thing across the front here. It's supposed to make it feel nicer under the arm, and I guess it does a little bit. Now, this guitar's going out of tune a little bit now. The tuner's a decent quality, and the reason that it's going out of tune is because it's quite new. And the strings, nylon strings, will go out of tune a bit when you first get a ukulele. So the first, I don't know, few weeks that you've got it, you can either stretch the strings in, so just literally putting your fingers over the end and giving the strings a bit of a pull. Now, as soon as you do that, it's going to go out of tune quite badly, okay? But if you do that every day for a week, it'll stop going out of tune because the strings will be kind of done up already. Now, while I'm just talking about this and doing the tune, let's talk about getting your ukulele in tune. I would definitely recommend getting a clip-on tuner. They're a really good idea, because if your ukulele's out of tune, no one's going to like listening to you. You can also learn to tune using this, my dog has fleas, if you can remember the pitching of that. But definitely a clip-on tuner is the way to go. If you don't want to do that, then using an app, there's plenty of free tuner apps around for every sort of device, so you might want to use that as well. Especially if you haven't got your tuner with you, you can always grab an app for next to no money to use. Or there's one in my beginner song course as well, a tuner app that you might want to use. Now, this ukulele was £129. It seems like it's a solid wood. Looks like it's a solid wood. It's finished really nicely. It plays pretty decent. Yeah, I think this is pretty good. I'm going to give this kind of like an 8 out of 10 here. It works really well. It looks really pretty, which at 129 quid, we're still in the kind of the budget end of the ukuleles, not in the super budget end though. Like 20 quid is different to 120 quid. And this is the kind of ukulele I think that you'd buy and keep for a number of years. I don't think you're going to wear it out anytime soon. So if you're fine with spending that amount of money and you don't stick around it and you end up giving it to somebody, then that's fine. The bigger size, it's getting a little bit more guitar-y in the tone. It's definitely going to project a bit more. The Maton projects better than this. It'd want to, again, for the price. It's just got more projection in the wood. I think better quality woods and the way it's put together and the type of bracing, that is the wood that goes inside behind the soundboard, makes a bit of a difference. Almost certainly the wood makes a difference. In the lower end of ukuleles, I don't think the wood's as important. You'll see a lot of talk about tone woods and whether it's spruce or solid or laminate or whatever. And I don't think that's such a big deal in the lower end of the ukuleles. I think you want to think about what size you want. And generally speaking, if you want super portable or for very young children, the Soprano is great. I think for most people, most of the time, a concert is going to be the best kind of standard choice. When we get up to this and we've got the tenor size, maybe if your hands are a little bit bigger, or you like the feeling of it being a little bit bigger, because it kind of feels a little bit more chunky and cool under the hands. But there is another one which is even bigger, and this one, Makala. Again, this was it didn't come from Amazon. I can't remember where. It's a regular music store. You can see it's significantly bigger again than the tenor, and especially if we put it up next to the Soprano. I mean, that's like, they're pretty massively different sizes, right? And this one, all of the ones so far have used the same tuning, which is C. I have to think about it. G, C, E, A. But this one's tuned the same as the bottom 4 strings of a guitar. So D, G, B, E. Well, stayed in tune. It's got decent tuners on it again. The ones with the cogwheel, which is what I really like. This one has the same with the cogwheels, but they're just covered. It's sealed, which is kind of supposed to stop them getting dirty, I guess. But I really think that's much of a deal. Again, that's such a difference there with the body. If I press it up against my body, quite thin. If I move it away, it's got a lot fatter, broader sound. Interesting. It just sounds to me, this size sounds like the thinnest 4 strings of a guitar, of a nylon string classical guitar. So I kind of feel like if I was going to play this, that maybe I'd just play the guitar. I guess there's less strings to worry about, so it might be, some of the chord shapes might be easier and stuff. But if you were going to get into it, then I kind of feel like this is a small guitar with not the right amount of strings. Quality. The brand of this, even though it's Makala, I keep saying it wrong, which is why I keep checking. Makala. It's made by Kala Ukuleles, who are one of the biggest manufacturers, and I've played lots of their ukuleles, which are really, really great. So definitely a brand that I think is a trustworthy thing. A lot of the factories in China make kind of a standard ukulele, and lots of people put their own branding on it. So if you go on like Amazon or a store and you find the kind of home brand ukuleles, they're often just all made in the same place anyway. So in the real budget range, I don't think it matters too much, and you should just get a ukulele, any ukulele, and have some fun, learn some basic chords. By the time you spend a few weeks with it, you're going to start be going like, yeah, man, I'm really feeling this, but I wish I had it slightly bigger, or I really like a smaller one, or hey, the small one would be great for when we go out camping, I can take it with us. Or, you'll have a bit more of an idea of how you're going to use the ukulele, what your preference might be for the sound. If you get into it, maybe you go to a store and try a few other ones, but at the beginning, I think that probably the most important thing is just not spending too much on the first one. I feel like it's the same with guitar as well, that you don't want to go doing all the reviews and buying the best £800 guitar that you can get as your first guitar, because you don't even know if you're going to stick with it yet. So I'd get one, learn a bit about playing it, learn a bit about what you like. Then if you find that you're really getting into it, then spend some time going to some music stores and trying the different sizes, seeing what you feel like. As far as accessories that you might want, I don't think there's that many to think about really. A gig bag, some of them will come with a gig bag. The Maiden one comes in a hard case, right? That's fair enough. It's an expensive instrument. It wants to be in a hard case. I think actually that Hamano thing came in a soft hard case, so it's a hard case but made of material. Most of these other ones came in like a nylon bag. I haven't bothered with the nylon bag. I definitely don't keep them in it when they're at home. My daughter's just gets dragged and left around the house wherever. If you're going to take it somewhere, I guess maybe putting it in a bag wouldn't be a bad idea, but you could just leave it wherever and stick it in any old bag. I don't think it needs to be in a specific case. So whether you need a bag or not sure. Guitar picks. It's possible to play ukulele with a pick. My daughter likes playing the pick. She does a thing where she strums and I play the chords, and that she just finds the pick kind of fun, I think, because it's a thing. But most of the time, I think fingerstyle is a better option for ukulele, just using your thumb or your first finger, depending on what feels comfortable for you. Tuner is something you definitely, I think, should be on your list. I tend to use this one. It's made by TC Electronic. It's called a Polytune. but they're twice as expensive as that Soprano ukulele, so it's probably not going to be the first choice for anyone who's just starting to get into ukulele. But they're a great clip-on tuner, and you probably never have to buy another one. At the more budget end, there's a brand called Snark, which is about £10 for one of those. Really good tuner, reliable, easy to use, all of that sort of stuff. Diodario make a similarly priced one as well, and Diodario, again, really top quality brand that you can rely on a bit. And last thing to mention maybe is a strap. I find that using this one feels just all big, so I definitely want to rest this on my leg like that, and so it's feeling a bit more like a guitar. But when I get into especially like a Soprano one, resting it down there just feels, it probably looks a bit weird as well. It wants to be sitting up here, and you use your forearm to kind of hold the guitar. This hand's supporting the neck, and that arm's, your forearm's supporting the body. That's kind of how you hold it. And the same for the concert size as well. I think a strap would be a bit overkill here. For the concert size, I haven't used a strap. I've experimented with it just to see. If I'm doing something that's really complicated with the fretting hand, I don't feel like I want to support it, I rest it on my knee, and then I can kind of support most of it with my, this arm pressing down on a little bit, and it's, yeah. We've all got different anatomy, so you've got to find the thing that's going to work for you. Some people I know definitely prefer to have it on a strap, so it's kind of hanging around their neck. For some people it's just easier, and it's okay to try that. If you do get a strap, you probably want to use it'll come with like a shoestring thing, which you tie around after the nut, not before, otherwise it'll sound all wonky. But you will need some sort. This one's got a pin built in. I'm not sure which of these other ones have pins at all. No, that's got nothing on it. Maybe the big one. Yeah, so this one has like a strap pin on the end where you could put the strap. But again, I'm not sure. My recommendation would be not to do that. One nearly fell off then. My recommendation would be to learn to play it without having to use a strap. But hey, it's totally your call. And this is just a guide. I wanted to just point out some of the things to think about when you're buying it. One other thing to mention is ukulele strings. A lot of people worry that they need to get a particular type of string. To be honest, on a beginner ukulele, not going to make a huge difference. I've been using Aquila Nile gut strings for this uke. I haven't had to buy strings for any of the other ones, to be completely honest. These Aquila are amazing sounding things, but I don't have a deal with them. I'm not saying that they're the only ones you should have. Just, I can't remember who it was. Somebody who knew about that stuff said that they were the best ones, so I've been using those, because the difference in price is not really a big deal when it comes to buying ukulele strings. I would recommend having a spare set, because what you don't want to be doing is really getting into it and enjoying it and then realizing that you've broken a string, and then you have to wait for a delivery of it. So I'd try and keep one spare set around. That's probably not a bad thing to purchase with your very first ukulele, would be a spare set of strings. That said, I've only ever broken one string on this, and I've not broken any strings on any of the other ones. Even this one, which has had a thrashing. This ukulele has been really tortured, and it's still going strong, and there's no... it stays in tune nearly all the time, even though it gets dropped and thrashed around. So, they're generally pretty robust things. And the nylon strings, definitely, after they've been stretched in those first couple of weeks where you might find they go out of tune a bit, they'll be fine. You don't have to worry about them too much. So, look, I really hope you enjoyed this little review. If you happen to be over on YouTube, I really appreciate you hitting the subscribe button. Hit the bell if you want to get notified when I'm doing anything live. And a like and a comment or any questions, always appreciated as well. Remember, there'll be a link over to the website where I've got tons of ukulele lessons. Just lately, I've started a new series called Children's Songs for Mums and Dads, which is basically all of the stuff that I play for my daughter for sing-along. So if you're a parent and you want to make some music with your kids, it's an amazing, fun thing to do. You and them will remember it forever. So I definitely want to be checking that out if I was you. But there are loads of cool songs. Eddie Vedder did a whole record of ukulele stuff. So it's a cool instrument, and there's some great music to play. You can play almost any style on a ukulele, and it's great fun. So I definitely encourage you to check it out over on the website. You can go to justinguitar.com/uke, UKE, or you can go to justinukulele.com. Take you to the same place. Anyway, hope you enjoyed this, and I'll see you for plenty of lessons very soon. You all take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.